Meanwhile, aides to the president have largely cleared his calendar for October for the election. He's going to go out there. He's going to campaign very hard for Hillary Clinton. To outside advisor to the president, Robert Wolf. Robert, we know that the stock market's near all-time highs. We do see the economy improving. There's certain areas that are improving, but for the most part, if you look at a typical recovery and you check off all the boxes, this has been somewhat disappointing. And I think what's really resonating in this country is a sense of hopelessness that it gets better.
Well, Charles, good to see you, and I'm glad you mentioned that the market's at an all-time high under the president. I mean, let's be clear, this is not a normal recovery because we didn't start at a normal position. We were losing over 800,000 jobs a month. So unless you're going back to the Depression, I'm not sure what you're comparing it to.
Well, we compare it to Economics 101. You're an expert in this, elasticity. So whatever happened to that snapback, you know, that sort of that demand that should have been there and all of a sudden sprang to life after the Fed pumped and created trillions of dollars, the virtuous cycle, all of those things in Economics 101 that should have had a much more vibrant economy haven't worked. And many people say it's because of the fiscal policy of the White House.
Charles, so I'm glad you called me an expert, so I'll answer. Well, thank you. Well, on most recoveries, it starts with the housing market. And unfortunately, what happened in the last recession, it was tough to get any type of mobility with respect to the housing market, so everyone was underwater. Normally in a post-recession, you get about 5% of GDP growth, and over half of that comes from housing. A part of it comes from manufacturing, and a part of it comes from the consumer. With this recovery, it actually was only the consumer that really came back for the most part. Now we're starting to see housing come back. And listen, getting back to 4+% is going to be difficult, but we have to do it. And I think the best way to do it is through a great infrastructure plan. It's the fastest multiplier of GDP growth.
Didn't we have that infrastructure plan? Didn't we have almost $1 trillion on that? And listen, I know it's easy. It's an easy sell. It's on both sides of the aisle. We'll get that from either candidate. Robert, we'll get that from either person. I think Donald Trump has promised that as well. But before I let you go, the president's going to have to give a message tonight to the average person who's not really that understands economics or economic history. What they do understand is that things aren't right. How can he convince them that this has been a pretty good recovery and he's doing a pretty good job?
Well, Charles, first of all, he's doing a pretty good job, and as you know, his polling's higher than President Reagan at the same point in their presidency. His polling is and the highest it's been since when they killed Osama bin Laden. So I would say, with respect to where the public sees him, I just don't think you're accurate.
All right.
With tonight, he's going to talk about how we are doing better, and we need to continue to do better.
All right. Well, we'll see tonight. Hey, Robert, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.